This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together.
Mate, let's go.
Vamos.
Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's grand. Nobody's faster than this team. Service style is unbeatable. This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together. Football is everything. Impossible is nothing. Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's
TSN
grand.
at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by Adidas. When soccer is everything, impossible is nothing.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together. Football is everything. Impossible is nothing. Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's
TSN
grand.
at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by Adidas. When soccer is everything, impossible is nothing.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together. Football is everything. Impossible is nothing. Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's
TSN
grand.
at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by Adidas. When soccer is everything, impossible is nothing.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together. Football is everything. Impossible is nothing. Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's
TSN
grand.
at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by Adidas. When soccer is everything, impossible is nothing.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together. Football is everything. Impossible is nothing. Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's
TSN
grand.
at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by Adidas. When soccer
for them, and they decide to go with Gareth Bale in probably a false 9 role today.
Yeah, it looks that way. I'm actually quite surprised he didn't go with Kiefer Moore through the middle of the Bournemouth striker, because I think he could have played right up against Zimmerman and Ream. But Gareth Bale, we all know, it'll be about Gareth Bale for this side, what he's done, 40 international goals. Be interesting to see what Daniel James and Wilson do off him. Harry Wilson, Steve, is another one that there's creativity in this side, but the way Rob Page goes about it, it'll be the solidity of the 5 at the back with Ampadu and Ramsey bringing that experience in midfield as well.
Yeah, I think the US would have been scared of Kiefer Moore, Kev. I think it's a big mistake, this, from Rob Page, but he's went for the pace of James, but pace is something that they have, actually, in the back area. The US, certainly in the wider areas, so he's chose that side. I think he's chose it obviously for a reason, and he wants Bale to be in the central position as much as possible, to be on that ball, to be taking shots, and you know, he's went for that. He'll probably save Kiefer Moore toss for a bit later in the game when he can come on and have that physical aerial impact.
Yeah, I mean, I think the danger for USA here is Gareth Bale and Ramsey. You know, they scored 9 of their last 13 goals. So these guys can produce, these guys can score goals. And I think they're going to cause problems for USA today.
The only thing with Bale is, though, I think I like Bale when he plays a bit freer. He'll play freer as a 9, but he gets himself in positions where he's not going to have an effect on the final third too often when he plays in this position, I feel.
You've seen it with LAFC too.
Yeah, and when Kiefer Moore plays, I think he can play off him and get himself freed up. And as you mentioned, Ramsey, Toss, he's got so much ability from that running from midfield, but, you know, has he been at his best for the last 3 or 4 years? And probably not, I would say.
Nowhere near it, Kev, but these guys they're big game players, aren't they? True. You know, they've led this country for so long, you just know that they're going to be up for it at this moment. Look, this is their stage. This is normally when they excel.
Can Gareth Bale hit the ground running, though? He's had his injury problems. I know you're a supreme athlete, Tosh. You never got injured and had to make that comeback. You've just been, you know, 100% every time you come on, Mr. Super Sub, in recent times. But can Bale just turn it on after what has been a period where he hasn't been playing regular minutes?
I mean, you see what he did at LAFC. He came on the pitch, what, 5 minutes? Boom, scores a game winner for them. So, I don't know. There's a different feeling when you put on that national team jersey and when you step on the field for your country. And I think Bale produces for his country time in and time out. So I'm expecting the same tonight.
It's a worry, though. 29 minutes, I think it is, since September 18th. That's not a lot of minutes on the pitch, but Gareth Bale's one of those players. He's got that one moment in him in a game, whether that be from a free kick or just an individual moment of brilliance. He's got that in him.
Yeah, he won't be asked to press. He won't be asked to do any of the work. He'll be asked to be in the right area at the right time, and he won't even be the same kind of player that runs the channels or uses that pace of his like days gone by. It's about getting him in the central spots, Luke, where he can be most effective and where he can probably score that goal for Wales. First goal since 1958. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, we know how we're going to feel on Wednesday when Canada returns to the big stage since 1986 at the weight. For Wales, it's been 64 years since 1958, so imagine what it's like there today as they get set to return to the World Cup against the United States. As we wrap up the day's action at Ahmed Bin Ali Stadium, US and Wales.
We are a nation built on ambition, but our strength is not in our numbers. It's in our unity, a place where everyone belongs. Here, you're not an outsider for being proud of your heritage. You're at home. And as much as we've achieved as a sport and a nation, our ambition only rises.
A great work of art doesn't just please the eye, it awakens the senses. The first ever fully electric BMW i7. Indulge every sense.
Hey.
Damn, baby, you so vicious, you so clean, so delicious.
Gotta be dirty dancing now, the yellow and gray for Swayze. Never gonna lose my soul.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, that's cool, but what is this?
What do you mean? It's part of the routine.
I don't think so.
Yes. Look, I'm doing exactly like in the video.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we will get.
In fact, 48 hours from now, we'll be in the stadium half an hour away from kickoff as Canada return to the World Cup for the first time in 36 years. Today, at their training base, it was forward Ike Ugbo and defender Stephen Vittoria talking to the media about the challenge that awaits them.
Don't get me wrong, we always respect the opinions. However, we were faced with many challenges, whether it was, going to Azteca to get a result, the States. As you guys know, CONCACAF's not an easy place to come out of. But I said, we're not going to be looking backwards. We're going to be tested in ways that maybe we haven't been tested. But, that's what the sport's about, and we're focused on that growth. We accept that challenge. We just want to keep growing with the wins. That's been our mentality throughout the whole qualification. And that's what we want to try to do in this tournament.
I think we've been working a lot on the past few days on their backline, using our strengths against their weaknesses. And I think if we put in what we've put in today and the past couple of days in training, I think we'll come out on top of them, especially in their backline.
Is there anything you kind of learned just in studying the tape about their backline that really sticks out to you?
Yeah, without going into much details, there's a couple of weaknesses in their backline that we can exploit, and I think we'll see that come match day.
Ike Ugbo there at the Canada camp, 2 o'clock Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific for Belgium against Canada on Wednesday on TSN and CTV, and a full 3-hour pre-game show from inside the stadium as well. Well, the Azteca in Mexico is one of the great footballing venues. It's Stage 2 World Cup finals, and tonight it's the venue for NFL on TSN, continuing with a Monday night football battle between the 49ers and Cardinals. Teams kicking off at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on TSN. Plenty of Wales fans around in Doha. We saw some on the subway the other day. They have plenty of songs to sing, and they're back at the World Cup, certainly enjoying themselves as they get set for the battle with the United States.
We are a nation built on ambition, but our strength is not in our numbers. It's in our unity, a place where everyone belongs. Here, you're not an outsider for being proud of your heritage. You're at home. And as much as we've achieved as a sport and a nation, our ambition only rises.
I love Montana, but I'm doing this for our family.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
Ruin them, starting with her.
Signing this is a declaration of war.
We're already at war.
I do this for my father. I don't do this for me.
We give everything to this land, and I do mean everything.
that camera.
The camera. Definitely the camera.
My photos are just way sharper, way more vivid than any of my friends' photos.
That high-res zoom, you don't lose anything as you get in closer. It's amazing.
It was able to capture skin tones accurately.
Night sight definitely gets me photos in the dark.
When you're shooting the northern lights, it's almost like I ripped them right out of the sky and put them in my phone. There's a couple background people on the catwalk there. After the Magic Eraser, it's just me and my friend.
This camera is definitely on a whole other level.
I pledged to use less plastic products.
Plantando árboles.
Usando menos agua.
I have an idea. Let's get your dad this blender for his birthday.
That man loves a smoothie.
Loves it.
Ooh, my sisters will go in with us.
Like they went in last year.
Okay, here's an idea. Split with Friends and the RBC mobile app divides the cost between everyone and sends them a request to pay.
Handy.
And they get automatic reminders.
Can we send one for last year too?
Should we? Yes.
Get Split with Friends, another powerful benefit of RBC Vantage.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together.
Mate, let's go.
Vamos.
Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's rare. Nobody's faster than Hakeem. Serge's style is unbeatable. And you can't forget about your West Storms. When football is everything, impossible is nothing.
Wales fans in fine voice ahead of kickoff against the United States. We're 25 minutes away from the Group B match getting underway at Ahmed bin Ali Stadium. Wales back at the World Cup for the first time since 1958. The last goal they conceded in this tournament came from a pretty famous name.
Sweden, 1958. Wales's only appearance at a FIFA World Cup. Their run to the quarter-finals ended by eventual winners Brazil, and a memorable first tournament goal for a youthful Pelé. "64 years on, a new chapter beckons. The class of 2022...
Oh, amazing.
Inspired by their footballing forefathers, whose achievements continue to evoke a sense of pride.
The great Pelé scored the goal which knocked us out, and you had obviously Charles up front, who's a Welsh icon and an absolute legend. It's something that we've wanted as a nation for so long. So the fact that it's finally come around and we managed to qualify and be here it's really exciting. Hopefully in years to come people can look back and be proud of this group of players as well.
The 1958 World Cup was only the start of Pelé's rise to superstardom. Wales have Gareth Bale, a global star of their own, whose influence on his teammates is profound.
He's a superb role model. It's fantastic with the older players and with the younger players, obviously new players coming in, and what he's done for Welsh football and football in general. He's an amazing captain and an amazing leader.
It's a historical occasion for Wales. To be able to qualify now, to do it for our country is an incredible feeling personally for ourselves as players and staff. Obviously it's very different these days to what it was back then, but putting on that red dragon there's no better feeling in football for me, and to represent the people of Wales, the country, everything we stand for is just brings even more passion out in every one of us.
Those who've gone before them will no doubt provide the inspiration. Can Wales's latest squad make their mark on the world's biggest stage?
Only two previous all-time meetings between the United States and Wales. Wales yet to score a goal. One was the US win. Most recently, it was back at the end of 2020. It was a draw, 0-0 in a friendly, and Robert Page was taking charge of his first caretaker game with Ryan Giggs suspended at the time. Giggs, a Welsh legend. Robert Page has stepped in, did well enough in the end to secure the job on a permanent basis. It's a great story for him and what he's been able to achieve with this team, Kev, isn't it?
I know Rob Page a little bit. When I was doing my coaching badges, I spoke to him quite a bit, actually. And he was involved with Port Vale, which not many people would know or be aware of. You know, an English club in the Midlands of England. And he's had a career in the lower leagues of England where he's coached and managed and got himself into the Wales setup. And then, of course, with what happened to Ryan Giggs taking over, it's an amazing story, Steve. It shows if you've got the right attitude and application, you can get anywhere in this game, and he's shown the right attitude to get to where he's at right now, yeah.
Yeah, and he gets the best out of the bunch of players that he's got, doesn't he? And I think that's Rob Page's his greatest strength, his ability to, you know, make people feel comfortable, to be themselves and to perform to the best of their ability. And I believe that's what he's done so well with Wales Toss. He allows the guys to flourish, he puts them in positions to succeed, and he's got a couple of superstars around there that obviously there's a bit of a hierarchy or a pyramid scheme where it's kind of set up for them to be the leaders, as they should be with the experience they have, and to show that the younger members and the other members of the squad lead the way, to lead them forward into their first World Cup since '58.
Yeah, and you like to see it, and you like it for a guy like Bale. You know, he's dedicated the last 16 years of his life to this national team, and I'm sure when he steps on that pitch and that whistle blows, that'll all be worth it, you know what I mean?
Do you think they've got a chance here against the United States? Obviously, it's a group where they've circled the one against England as well.
Yeah.
And then, having seen Iran today, Wales will think that they've got an opportunity here to maybe cause an upset on day one and get out of this group, Stevie.
Yeah, definitely. They feel they've got a chance. They will know that England are the dominant team in the group, but they'll feel, because they know the players so well, that maybe they can go out there and get a result. But this first game against the US is massive, Kev, isn't it? This is a game, and to be honest, the US will be feeling exactly the same, but this is a game you go into and you say, if we can get 3 points, we put ourselves in a tremendous position to qualify alongside England.
It's right what you say. Both of these sides will feel they can win the match, won't they? They'll think, right, we can go out and win this game, sets us up nicely for the tournament. But looking at Wales and seeing Wales the way they've gone about it, they're actually quite bullish, talking about the English game, as you say, Luke, before. Kiefer Moore saying, look, we relish the opportunity to play against England, but this could be the game, Toss, that sets them up, because we all know Iran are the weakest team. All three sides should beat Iran, so it's going to come down, really, I think, for both the US and Wales, what happens here if they're going to get out or not.
Yeah, I mean, history's on their side. I mean, USA has not beat European opposition in the last 16 matches. They've won one time in 17 matches, so history's on their side, and, you know, if it all pans out, Wales may get the result tonight.
But we saw the Wales fans earlier, plenty of US fans in attendance as well at Ahmed bin Ali Stadium ahead of this one. They missed the World Cup, of course, in 2018. They were the quarter-finalists in 2002. The United States getting set to open in Group B here against the Welsh.
Team USA is a team for the future. They missed out in 2018, but are joint hosts of the 2026 World Cup. The USA's young stars aim to earn their stripes in Qatar.
Young, resilient, fearless, fit, and talented.
Coach Greg Berhalter, veteran of the 2002 quarter-final team, led the current crop to qualify third from CONCACAF.
It's a super close team. A lot of bonds that go back a long time, not just the time on the national team. We have teammates for their club teams together. And, you know, the bond is one of the closest I've seen in any team I've been a part of.
Berhalter's leaving the past behind, ditching fading veterans and naming one of the youngest squads in Qatar. Captain Christian Pulisic is a figure of responsibility at only 24.
I've been around the team for quite a while, I would say, and I want to lead as best I can. There's a lot of energy within this team, and we have a hungry team, and I think a team that's ready to go out and surprise some people and compete with some of the best in the world.
We have a fearless young team in front of us, and we're not afraid of anything. It's been a process of getting to know each other, and now this is where we want to be.
It's a team that has great strength in its diversity. We have players from all different backgrounds, but we've all come together to rally and really feel strongly about what we represent, which is more than just this crest.
The US have numbers. Altidore squares it. Dempsey's missed it. Donovan has it. From hope, there is glory. And the United States are going through.
I
think we want to have some of the qualities that we've seen some of the previous teams bring out, and that, you know, that American spirit and that fight to the end and, you know, never give up attitude, I think is what we want to bring.
With the World Cup in the United States and Mexico and Canada in 2026, we know that's going to be instant attention, but we can capture the attention now. When the World Cup happens, the world stops and focuses. The beauty of the history of U.S. soccer is each team has its own characteristics, and each team has its own chance to define itself, just like this team does in 2022.
An average age of 24 for this US team, the second youngest in the World Cup. We saw Greg Berhalter there. Toss almost has an in right to the head coach of the US, because good friends with your teammate Sebastian Berhalter in Vancouver, who is the son of the US head coach. I'm sure you swap stories and have conversations about this US team quite frequently there in the locker room in Vancouver.
Yeah, of course. I'm always trying to pick his brain, trying to get any advantage for Canada when they play. But obviously this is a different stage, but good kid. And we talk about USA all the time. And what concerns us is the age, but, you know, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because it prepares them for 2026, but the lack of experience now, you know, may cause some problems for them.
Yeah, but some incredible talent there, isn't there? And that's been the issue, trying to get that talent to realise their potential, Kevin, isn't it? They've not quite hit the heights. And the one thing for me is I think they've went away from the aggressive press and the direct football that make the US so successful. I think recently under Berhalter, it's been too slow in the build-up, too methodical, too many touches. I think they're at their best when they get the forwards, the inside forwards into good positions. They try and get in behind teams and they try and stretch teams with that energy play of theirs.
Well, we certainly never saw it as frequently enough during the CONCACAF qualifiers, did we? And I actually felt certainly after the two Canada games, I thought they were a little bit disrespectful of Canada. I thought it was, you know, we've dominated the ball. We should automatically think we're entitled to win the game. That's the way that I felt the US were thinking. Whereas I think Canada actually controlled the game. Certainly the game in Chicago during qualification without having the ball. I thought they played really well. They were great on the counter, and then they dominated them in Hamilton for that game over in Canada. So personally, I think that. I think they're a decent side, Toss. I think they're a good side, but personally, I just don't see them really being a threat deep into this tournament. I don't.
But this could be about setting themselves up really well for this group, this young group, to have that experience here, see what they can do, and then really have a good go on home soil in 2026, Toss.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of compares to Canada and the type of group they have. Very little World Cup, well, no World Cup experience. And USA is kind of similar. They only have DeAndre Yedlin, who's been to a World Cup. And, you know, that lack of experience may hurt them, but, you know, it's exciting. They're young, they're fearless, they're confident.
Yeah.
So.
But then when you see the group that they have, you know, I think qualification to the knockout stages is needed for this group. I think they have more quality players than Canada. I'm not saying that they have, you know, better individuals, but I think when you look at the depth of the squad, it has more quality. But it's time for these lads to step up, to become men, and to show that they're capable of playing in this level, being consistent and being successful. And, you know, I think the best way for them to do that is by being aggressive and being direct.
Well, this stadium we're going to take you to is as far west as it goes with the stadiums here at the World Cup. Almost on the edge of the desert as we wrap up day 2 at the FIFA World Cup with Group B action between the United States and Wales at Ahmed Ben Ali Stadium in Al Rayyan. Next.
TSN at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by CIBC, Canada Soccer's lead partner.
We are a nation built on ambition, but our strength is not in our numbers. It's in our unity, a place where everyone belongs. Here, you're not an outsider for being proud of your heritage. You're at home. And as much as we've achieved as a sport and a nation, our ambition only rises.
Day one, I didn't know what to expect, but then you showed me what's good. No one has pride like you. No one has passion like you. And you know that's worth capturing, right? Sharing the love. Because the more you connect, the better you connect. And now, this isn't just another city. This is my home.
Google Pixel 7, even better with Bell.
Want to go to McDonald's?
Want to go to McDonald's?
McDonald's